Hey everyone, Nigel and Luke here, and welcome to Crime Zone.
Authorities in Minnesota say that they're investigating the organized thefts at two Best Buy locations this week after dozens were allegedly involved in stealing high-end items from the stores on Black Friday. According to reports, both of the incidents took place around 8 p.m. on November 26th at stores in suburban Minneapolis. The first mob struck at a store in Burnsville, and it's estimated that between 20 and 30 people were involved. The second incident took place at a store in Maplewood, involving a group of at least 10 to 12 different suspects who were said to be a mixture of adults and juveniles. At both Best Buy locations, it said that the thieves targeted high-value items such as TVs, tablets, and hoverboards. It remains unclear, though, how much merchandise was taken and what the estimated value of the stolen goods is. While it appears that no one was injured as a result of either incident, at the time of this recording, authorities say that no arrests have been made in connection with either incident. While the Minnesota Best Buy robberies have managed to generate significant attention this week, they are far from the only flash mob-style incidents related to Black Friday. On the same day as the Best Buy robberies, a similar incident allegedly took place at a Home Depot in Los Angeles County, California, where a group of between 8 and 10 suspects wearing ski masks raided the tool aisle. In general, it appears that mass robbery incidents targeting department stores, pharmacies, and high-end retailers are only becoming more common as additional stories like this have been reported throughout California, as well as in major cities like Chicago. When Walgreens recently announced that it was closing several stores in San Francisco, it cited organized retail crime as one of the reasons contributing to its decision.
Authorities in Pinellas County, Florida say that a 64-year-old man has been arrested and is facing charges this week after he threatened employees at a local fishing attraction after being told their bathrooms were closed. According to reports, the incident took place on Tuesday, November 23rd, when Thomas Clement was visiting Pier 60 in the city of Clearwater. It began when Clement asked workers at one of the stores there to use the bathroom and was told that unfortunately they were closed. Apparently unsatisfied with this explanation, it was at this point that Clement removed a 12-inch long machete that he was carrying on his wheelchair and began to wave it around, threatening the employees and yelling profanities at them. After several minutes, authorities arrived at the scene and Clement was arrested for disorderly conduct. It's believed that alcohol played a role in his violent outburst. His bond was subsequently set at $250.
Representatives from the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department say that they're hoping to successfully capture a carjacking suspect this week after the man apparently left behind a photo of himself on the victim's phone. According to reports, the incident began around 10 a.m. on November 22nd when the victim, Megan Whistler, was sitting in her 2005 Ford 500. She had taken her mother to an assisted living center to visit a relative, and while she was inside, Megan had decided to wait in the parking lot. Within minutes of her arrival, an armed stranger came up to Megan's driver's side window, telling her to scoot over. Having no intention of going anywhere with the man, Megan instead got out of the car and handed over her keys. The man took them, along with her cell phone, before fleeing the scene. When Megan contacted the police, she and the officers were able to track her phone after she pinged it using a location app. It was found approximately 15 minutes away from where Megan had been carjacked. Though this meant that the stolen vehicle could no longer be tracked, Megan soon found that the suspect had left behind a different kind of evidence. While scrolling through her phone, she discovered a selfie of him amongst her pictures. It's believed that the photo was taken inadvertently by the suspect, possibly when Megan pinged the phone to track its location. It's possible that this is the reason he chose to ditch the device. With a photo of the alleged perpetrator now in hand, police are hoping that it's only a matter of time before he's in custody. Anyone with information concerning the suspect's identity or whereabouts is encouraged to contact Indianapolis Police or to call Crime Stoppers.
Authorities in Boston, Massachusetts say that an 82-year-old man was forced to spend his Thanksgiving holiday in the hospital this week after he was recently the victim of a terrifying attack while driving. According to reports, it all started on November 18th, when the elderly man, who has since been identified as Richard Bell, went out for what seemed like an innocuous errand. He needed to pick up a turkey for his family's upcoming holiday meal. Richard left the house that evening in his 1996 Buick Century and set out for the store, not thinking anything of the short trip. However, at approximately 7:30 p.m., as Richard was driving through the Fenway Park area near Bowker Overpass, he was suddenly surrounded by 30 to 40 people riding dirt bikes and ATVs. Once he was surrounded, the riders began to hurl objects and kick his vehicle. As Richard's vehicle was forced up onto the curb on the right-hand side of the road, the attack escalated, and the riders started smashing his windows. He was temporarily able to drive away, but the group followed him and soon managed to catch up when he got stuck in traffic. When Richard rolled down his window to ask another driver to call 911, a male rider approached the open window on foot, reaching through and punching him several times. At the same time, a piece of pipe was thrown through the vehicle's rear window, and a large rock was thrown through another window. The attack only ended when Richard managed to make it to a convenience store, where he got out of his car and fell to the ground. He was taken to St. Elizabeth's Medical Center, where he reportedly remains at the time of this recording. While Richard is expected to survive his harrowing experience, members of his family say that things could have turned out much worse. They told local media that he recently underwent heart surgery and that a single punch to his chest could have been fatal. None of the reports we could find mentioned exactly how the attack on Richard began, or whether there was any inciting incident. It's possible that the entire thing was completely unprovoked. Massachusetts State Police are now searching for the suspects behind the attack and are asking anyone with information to come forward.
Friends and family of a former California police officer are in mourning this week after he was shot while working security for a San Francisco Bay Area television crew. According to reports, the incident took place on November 24th when a crew from KRON-TV were the victims of an attempted robbery near downtown Oakland. The TV crew was there to cover the latest incident of mass retail theft in the area, the kind mentioned earlier in this video. When armed suspects attempted to steal the crew's camera equipment, a member of their security team, Kevin Nishida, stepped in. He was shot in the abdomen in the resulting confrontation. Though Kevin was rushed to the hospital and was initially reported to be in stable condition, sadly he succumbed to his injuries a few days later. At the time of this recording, authorities have yet to make any arrests in connection with the shooting. However, a reward of $32,500 has been offered for any information leading to the arrest of Kevin's killer. Oakland police have released a photo of a vehicle that was believed to have been driven by the suspect, a white four-door 2004 to 2008 Acura TL. The vehicle has a sunroof and no front license plate. Kevin's death has generated an outpouring of grief not only from his friends and family, but from police departments across the state of California. According to reports, he served in the San Jose Police Department for 11 years, later moving to the Como Police Department before his retirement in 2018. Since then, he worked as an armed guard for Star Protection Agency, often providing security for local reporters.
Authorities in Knox County, Tennessee say that a man has been arrested and is facing multiple charges after he allegedly became enraged over the wait time for his pizza and pulled a gun on employees. According to reports, the incident began around 9 p.m. on November 5th, when 63-year-old Charles Doty Jr. entered a Little Caesars location in the Cedar Bluff neighborhood of Knoxville. Things started to go south when Doty was told that he would have to wait 10 minutes for his order to be prepared, possibly because it was a busy Friday night at the store. Unbeknownst to the employees at the Little Caesars, Doty was a man who took the company's hot and ready tagline extremely seriously. Just how seriously, they would soon find out. After becoming immediately angry about the 10-minute wait, Doty demanded free breadsticks. When he was denied this, he decided to take things to the next level. Rather than waiting outside for his order and complaining to the company later, or simply accepting that sometimes these things happen, he instead went to his car and retrieved a rifle. He then proceeded to hold several employees at gunpoint, including one who had just finished their shift and was attempting to leave, as well as another customer. As Doty pointed his gun at the terrified employees and demanded pizza, the situation was finally diffused when the other customer handed over her food in order to get him to leave. Doty took the pizza and left before police could arrive. He was later tracked down and arrested, and now faces multiple charges, including 4 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of especially aggravated kidnapping. His bond is set at $90,000, and he remains in Knox County Jail. The whole thing was perhaps best summed up by a Little Caesars employee named Kimberly Smith, who was reportedly a victim of the bizarre incident. In an interview with a local news outlet, she said, quote, "Like, I was shocked it was over a $6 pizza."
Authorities in Essex County, New Jersey say that a 25-year-old Newark police officer has been taken into custody and is facing numerous charges this week after he allegedly struck and killed a man and then tried to cover up the crime in a panic. According to reports, the incident took place at approximately 3 a.m. on November 1st when the off-duty officer, who has since been identified as Luis Santiago, was driving northbound on the Garden State Parkway near exit 151. While driving his 2005 Honda Accord with a passenger in the vehicle, Santiago allegedly drifted from his lane to the right shoulder of the road, striking and killing a 29-year-old nurse named Damian Dimka. When Santiago realized what had happened, neither he nor his passenger, 25-year-old Albert Guzman, called 911 or tried to help Dimka. Instead, they fled the scene of the accident, traveling back there several times before finally loading Dimka's body into the car. The men then drove to Santiago's mother's house and asked her what to do. After some time, it was decided that Santiago would drive the body back to the scene of the accident. It was at that point that his father, a Newark police lieutenant, reported the accident. When police arrived at the scene, Dimka's body was discovered still in the back seat of Santiago's car. While Santiago and Guzman were initially allowed to leave the scene following the incident, charges were laid against them on November 18th. Charges were also laid against Santiago's mother, 53-year-old Annette Santiago, who investigators allege was involved in the crime. Santiago surrendered himself to authorities on November 23rd. Santiago is now facing a slew of charges, including vehicular homicide, leaving the scene of a crash resulting in death, desecrating/moving human remains, and tampering with physical evidence. His mother and Guzman were each charged with conspiracy to desecrate human remains, hindering apprehension, and tampering with physical evidence.
Authorities in Harris County, Texas say that a 41-year-old man has been arrested and accused of murdering his wife this week, just 2 days after she signed a $250,000 life insurance policy. According to reports, the investigation began when Christopher Collins made a phone call to police on November 18th, telling them that his wife had texted him that there might be an intruder in their house. Collins was at the gym at the time and met officers back at his residence on the 18,000 block of Clayton Bluff Lane in Cypress. When police went inside, they found Collins' wife, 46-year-old Yunhua Liang, dead in the living room. She had died from a gunshot wound, and a sleep mask and plastic bag had been placed over her head. While Collins insisted that the crime must have been committed by the strange intruder, police immediately began to feel that his story didn't add up. For starters, the house had not been ransacked, and only a couple of things appeared to be missing. Further digging revealed that Collins hadn't contacted police until 45 minutes after he had received Liang's text message about the supposed intruder. He told detectives that he had waited so long to make the call because his wife was paranoid. When police obtained surveillance footage from the gym where Collins had been on the night of the murder, they discovered that Collins had mostly paced around while he was there, only working out for a total of 5 minutes. A search of a locker at the gym revealed Liang's wallet and cosmetic bag, 2 of the items that Collins had reported missing. When Collins was questioned by police, he was also found to be in possession of a live .22 caliber round, the same kind that had been used to kill his wife. Finally, there was the $250,000 life insurance policy on Liang's life, which she had signed just 2 days before she was killed. Based on this evidence, investigators arrested Collins for the murder. He is currently being held in jail on a $150,000 bond. That's it for this edition of Crimes of the Week. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like and subscribe to Crime Zone for more true crime content like this, making sure to hit the notification bell to stay up to date with our latest releases. Thank you for watching.